Hello. Hi, everyone. It is Thursday. I can't believe it's already Thursday. Anyways, thought I would jump live. I have not gone live this week. And I just got back from a trip. It was in Michigan, so it was in the East Coast, in the Eastern time zone, and I'm in Pacific time zone. I got up this morning at 4:45 Eastern time, which is 1:45 Pacific time, which is what I'm on. And so I've almost been up for 12 hours. I got home, my first flight was at 7 a.m. and my second flight, I flew through Minneapolis. My second flight was at 9:15 and I got home at 10:15. So it was really nice. And it was a business. It was like a work/family trip. My sisters were there. But Steve and Henry stayed home. So it was nice. But I thought I would talk about next week. I am going on I'm going on a caregiver retreat next Thursday. And so I'm really excited about that. But I wanted to talk about how is it guilt? Do you feel guilty for leaving your kids? Do you ever go on a vacation or trip or work for travel for work? Do you feel guilty when you leave your kids? And it's hard, especially for us that are caregivers. We need that break. We need a break from our kids, and we shouldn't feel guilty about it. But it is still hard not to feel guilty about it. So this week I was gone from Monday afternoon until this morning, till early Thursday morning, 3 nights. And I don't know how much Henry understands. So I always tell him, I'm going on an airplane. I'm leaving. Um, Mommy will be back in a few days. You'll be with Daddy and Lucy. And I guess on Monday, around bedtime, always around bedtime, I think he notices because I sing to him, and I think he likes that. Steve helps with shower. I help get him ready for with his pajamas. Steve reads a book to him, and I sing to him afterwards. So I kind of end the night. And so I guess on Monday night, I think it was at dinner because I usually am doing dinner with him. I usually help him with dinner. So at dinner, he said mom on his talker because I wasn't there. So he noticed at dinner, and Steve said, well, mom's on a trip. She'll be back on Thursday. So that was good. I'm glad that he's noticing that I'm not there. I know he notices that I'm not there, but the fact that he said mom on his talker, I felt really good. And he didn't get upset about it that I was gone. So that was good. Steve told me that last night was when he said mom after the shower, before he got ready in his pajamas. He went to his talker and said mom. So he realized that I was not there still. I was gone for 3 nights. And so he was really wanted me to be there. So Steve said, mom is gone, but she's coming back tomorrow and she's going to try to pick you up tomorrow after school. And he says, try, even though my flight got in at 10, you have no idea how the delays are going to go, if things are going to get canceled. So I'm glad he said try. I mean, I'm home and we're going to go pick Henry up in like half an hour. So I thought I would just jump on quick. But I'm excited. Like it's great to see that he was smiley and happy when he heard that I was coming tomorrow. So my question to all of you guys is it hard to travel? Do you travel? Do you travel for work? Do you go on like mom or dad trips? Do you go together with your significant other? Do you travel without your kids? let me know. And is it hard? Do you feel guilty? Because I do feel guilty. Sometimes you need the break, or sometimes you have to go for work. And it's okay feel to feel like sad, to feel guilty about it, but you've got to do it. And next week, I'm going to a retreat for caregivers, for women caregivers, moms, grandmas. So I'm super happy about that. I need this. Oh my gosh, it's going to be super fun because this last few days was work. But the retreat is going to be just really fun. And it's in Austin, Texas, and not Austin, sorry, San Antonio, Texas. And it's right by the Riverwalk, which I've heard is really cool. Um, and so I'm excited about that. Going Thursday to Sunday. Yay. So I'm actually home a week and then I leave again. And this weekend, we're going up to my parents' house in Sedona for Mother's Day weekend. We leave tomorrow. Henry's school gets let out early, and so we're going to pick him up and go straight up to Sedona. And we haven't told him that. Have not told him that yet because you never know, things might happen. So I'm super excited about that. But and I am going to start. I will start doing like some videos of answering questions. And one of the things I'll start doing is, because it's summertime, I'll start talking about travel with your kids, travel on your own. But Henry is a very, knock on wood for sure, he's a good traveler. We've been flying with him since he was like 3 months old, way before we had the autism diagnosis. So, and we fly with him like once a year. Go back to my parents have a cottage in Ontario, so we go back to that for 2 weeks in each summer, and so we always fly back, and that's a 4.5 to Toronto. It's a 4.5 hour 4 to 4.5 hour flight. So it's from Phoenix to Toronto, Toronto back. So it's a long flight. And even though Henry is good at traveling, I still get nervous because there's nowhere, when you're on a plane, there's nowhere for you to go. There's nowhere for you to hide. There's nowhere, like, even if you have the best traveler in the world, things happen. And so you don't know. So I get nervous. I always get nervous. And I have travel anxiety to begin with. I do not, compared to Steve and Henry, I do not have anxiety, OCD, but I do have travel anxiety. And I have to check. Today I checked for my passport like 5 times because I don't have the real ID. I never got it, but I have my passport. So I traveled on that because yesterday was the first day you needed the real ID. So I made sure I had my passport when I left on Monday. And so I always check. Do I have my wallet? Do I have my passport? Do I have this and this? And I don't just check it once. I check it in the car. I check it when I'm getting out of the car. I check it at the airport, and I check it at the gate. And obviously, so through security, then I make sure when we get through security, I have it in my spot. Then I check at the gate, and then I check on the airplane. And that's just me like getting nervous about, because if you lose your ID, you can't get home. So that's just my anxiety, and that's always been. And I think it's because it's when I have travel anxiety. Started having travel anxiety when I missed my first. Well, I think it's the only flight I missed. I missed a flight from Phoenix to Toronto when I was in college, and I was with my friend Mikey. I was bringing her back to Toronto to see Toronto, and we missed our flight, but we were there. And this is, I'm dating myself, but this is before September 11th. So it was in 1998, 97, sorry. And we were freshmen. And we she was vegetarian, so she wanted to go back through security because security was not the way it is now, and get her food. And then we decided to eat there. I don't know why we didn't just take the food back to the plane, but the plane left early. And so it took off before it was supposed to leave. And we were walking, and her mom was meant to like say goodbye to us, and she thought she missed us. And she's like, "Why aren't you on that plane?" And we're like, "What?" And ran. And there was only at the time, there was only like 20 people on this big flight, a direct flight from Phoenix to Toronto. And we're like, there's only 20 people on the flight. We told you that we were going out. And they're like, you were supposed to be here 15 minutes early. And sometimes we leave early and all this stuff. And I was like, but we were already here and told you we were going to go get food and come back. So my rule now I'm like 2 hours early to the airport, and I make sure I go to the gate first because gate changes. And today actually, there was 2 Phoenix flights in Minneapolis, and I looked at the second one without realizing it, and so I was headed to a different. Minneapolis is a huge airport and has different wings. So I thought the flight was leaving out of F, and it was actually leaving out of G. But then I looked at my app and it said G6. So I was like, well, I thought it said F something. Yeah, so I then went over and looked again, and sure enough, I looked at the wrong thing. But if I had taken my time and not looked, I would have gone all the way to F and then had to walk all the way over. I mean, I had time, but when you don't have that, like things like that happen when there's 2 flights to the same city, but at different times. If you don't look at the times or don't realize that, then things can happen. But all my traveling stuff, I've traveled all over the world. I have lots of different travel stuff. I have a fun story of my sister and I traveling through Europe when we had both graduated college. That was a fun trip. Traveling with your sister, definitely, it definitely makes or breaks you. And we traveled for like 2 months together, and we had some major fights. And I was already dating Steve, and so I called him a few times from Europe, and he was like, "Are you guys drunk again?" I'm like, and then you hear Caitlin in the background is of us arguing and stuff. It's lots of fun times. But yeah, I'm a little off topic. My ADHD gets me off topic, but I have lots of fun travel stories. Been all over. I've been to all 7 continents. Yeah, that's kind of something fun to do with travel. I've been to all 7 continents. I've been to 35 countries. And the last continent I went to was Asia. I hit Asia in 2014. It was right before Henry was diagnosed. I was working on a documentary called Got the Travel Bug, and I was passing the travel on to my niece, Gwen, who was 12 at the time. And so I was hitting my last continent, and she was hitting her first international continent, because obviously she's been on one, the one we live on, but North America, but she was hitting her first international continent. And she hit 2, because we went to Asia and we went to Australia, because my mom and my sister had never been to Australia. So we hit Asia first. I made sure to hit Asia first because that's what I wanted to hit all of them before them. And then we went to Australia at the end so we could hit. And I went with my mom, my sister, and her daughter, Gwen, my niece. And so it was a really fun girls trip. And Annie came and she was filming. So my sister, my mom, and Gwen got to really know Annie well. When you travel like that, you get to know people very well in a very short period of time. Um, so I know that they were pretty. I mean, my whole family knows Annie really well. Um, but traveling, you get to know people. So that was my last one. But I hit Morocco um, in Africa, and Vietnam was our Asia, and we went to Japan as well. Then we went to Australia. I've been to a whole bunch of countries in South America, and then went to Antarctica when I was 14. So I hit that pretty early. South America and Antarctica were my first two international ones, and went to Europe in college. Oh, I hit actually Australia before when I was in college, and then after college, I hit Europe with my sister. And I've been to New Zealand twice. I absolutely love New Zealand. Might be one of my favorite countries. Vietnam, Vietnam was not on my radar really. And when we were doing the God Travel Bug, I wasn't sure which country to do in Asia on the continent. So I asked people, and majority of people voted for Vietnam. So we went to Vietnam, and I absolutely loved it. I love Vietnam. Ha Long Bay was one of my favorite places. So I would love to do more Asia. And I would love to. I think what I want to do with Henry is he loves the roller coasters. So I think the fun thing we'll do is go to different countries and ride roller coasters in different countries, and we can see those countries, and he can ride roller coasters. So I mean, a lot of places have roller coasters. So that was just one of the plans. But the long flight kind of scares me overseas with Henry. I don't know if he could last on a 13-hour flight. Like, we were on a 13-hour flight from Australia home. So I don't know if that would be good for him, but we can work our way up and see. So I just wanted to jump on real quick, and I've been rambling for almost 20 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to say hi and talk about the trip. And you do feel guilty, but Henry will be super excited to see me. I'm gonna go pick him up I'm gonna leave in a few minutes to go pick him up at school, and he'll be really excited. I know he will be. But yeah, and if you guys have any comments, let me know. I always really let me know where you're from. How did you find us? Where are you from? Do you like to travel? And if you really like what you're seeing, you want to get to know the kids more, come become a member. I would love to get to know everyone better, and you'll get more behind the scenes of everyone. So they're a fun group of kids. So I'm so excited they're now at an age where they can answer questions, and I would love to give them a camera and let them um, do some filming and tell me what it's like to be autistic. So maybe some of those videos will come out soon. I would love that. So again, hi, and I'll start. I'm Rachel. I am US and Canadian. I was born in the US. My dad got transferred to Toronto when I was younger. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, became a citizen before I graduated high school, then moved back out to the US, and I'm now in Arizona. I have been in Arizona for almost 28 years. Makes me feel very old. But I've been in Arizona the longest because I was in Toronto for 15 years. I moved there when I was 5. So yeah, I was turning 5 when we moved. And yeah, So it's been I love to travel, and I would love to take Henry traveling, and I know he's a good traveler, but it's still nerve-wracking. So I'll do videos about travel and give my like tips and stuff of what we do on planes and what we do driving. And we went on a cruise and did Autism on the Seas. That was really fun. Autism on the Seas was really good. It was a Disney cruise, and Autism on the Seas came and helped us. So that's a really good company. So maybe in the next couple weeks, I'll do a video about Autism on the Seas. It was great. So yeah, thank you for being here. And I will do a live next week before I go on the trip. And I will do a live for the members while I'm in San Antonio. So that'll be fun, and you'll be able to see other moms and stuff. And I'll do a little tour of of the river walk and stuff. I can't wait to see it. I've heard San Antonio is really pretty. So I'm excited about it. Anyways, thank you for being here, and I will do a live next week. Thank you.